a fun story. I've recorded this episode already, but it didn't pick up my voice, so we're recording this ending again. Also, as you can probably tell from my voice, I have a bit of a cold, and it's terrible in general. I also have a huge cold sore on my lip, which I'm loathing. I always get cold sores before my colds. We're gonna skip the intro. So I'm gonna do exactly what I did last time. I did get the ending that I wanted. Basically, I went into this trying to get the ending where we frame her, and I could pretend that I haven't already gotten that ending and I don't know what I'm doing, but I feel like that would be lying to you guys, so let's go about this a different way. My first thing I did was I flew through this conversation, but I kind of read it out loud, but we've seen it before, so Sphere's your name. She recognizes us from pictures. She's been here for a while, but we've been busy, which is why she hasn't seen us. Now, I had two theories of how to frame her. One was using the panties, and the other was using the love letters, which is the one that I went with. I don't know if the underwear works or not. Although I feel like the underwear would be just as incriminating. Okay, our work keeps us very busy. Actually, I'm going to do an experiment because I don't feel like I need to actually... Because I talked to mom, dad, and sis. I feel like the sister conversation isn't a required one. If anything, it makes us look suspicious. I feel like it would be weird to not talk to dad. And we clearly kind of like mom, so I'll talk to those two, but I'm not going to talk to sis. You're here now, and I'm sure you're going to talk to everybody. Locations. Thank you. She'll be in the kitchen making dinner. Okay, so we're going to pop in here with mom. I'm going to click on the chair a bunch of times. Finally made it up here for a visit. We're totally here to cause trouble. I mean, make amends. Yeah, that one. Oh, we're dysfunctional. Is that how you spell that? I don't know. Apologize for any stress he's caused. Just kissing all the booty. Mom's calling us out, but she's got a ton of lipo, so I'm calling out her face. Seriously, look at her. Today, without any drama, she'd appreciate it. There's gonna be so much drama. Will she be okay? Razor in the bathroom comes up again. Also, I wonder what kind of razor it is, because this place is very antiquated. So I'm wondering if it's like the old-fashioned razors that used to like sharpen on a strip of leather or something like that, or I imagine it's not like the safety shaving razors. Anyways, so I remember seeing her like this. So yeah, she's worried. Is that an actual song? I want to analyze this. Okay, she tells us to go talk to dad, so we better go talk to dad. Because it's going to be weird if mom says talk to dad and we don't. This room smells gross. Okay, as I commented in the last one, there's one called A Boy's Best Friend, and I'm really worried that it's going to involve us framing the dog. That's like my worst nightmare. If that's an achievement, I'm never getting it, because puppies. Hello, father? He's all quiet and grumpy with his weird... His mustache is just so... Why does it go up like that? Is that a style? It almost looks like a weird way people draw smiley faces. Now I'm never going to forget that about his mustache. See you. Happy birthday. What's up? I didn't say I wanted to put unpleasantness behind us. I just wanted to say happy birthday. Calm down. And the day where he can watch his life's work crumble into nothing. Calm down, Dad. We're gonna go with this. We've seen all the conversations with him. Too late, father. I have my own life now. My own home, my own job. Okay, we listed 3 things and he's saying both. I'm calling you out. You're not as sophisticated as you think you are. I'm gonna poke your nose. Alright. Hi, you guys enjoying me sick? Because this is pretty much it. Yeah, I think my life means stuff. Last of a noble dynasty that stretches back hundreds of years. What does your life mean next to that? I don't know. I'd have to analyze my life. Apparently means everything. Alright, we're going with that. Same. Why is snot-nosed an insult? Everybody has that in their nose. Like, that is a constant. If your nose doesn't have stuff in it in some degree, you're weird. He can't be civil, so we're taking our leave. Alright, let's get out of here. We got people to frame. We are going to take the love letters. Yes. And then we're going to take the glass. So last time I rolled a die and we hung out with George in this room. I think I'll do the other one and hang out with Mom. Just for the sake of it. No, I'm gonna do everything the way I did it last time. So I didn't talk to the servants. Got my glass. There are going to be some stuff that's changed, so I will read the stuff that's different we haven't seen before, because you guys deserve it. Alright, she's calling Sophia over for some wine. We're gonna whine about that. Well, technically George is gonna whine about that. But madam! Ah, George, you're adorable. I really like the way his character is drawn. She doesn't want to cause trouble. Too late, you already did. Let's argue in favor of George pouring wine, because why not? We have damned wine. No good holy wine for us or regular wine. We're gonna drink the damned wine. It suits this family. Yes, yes, we're a little rat. Calm down. Perhaps I did speak out of turn. I'm so sorry. Please forgive us. Okay. So here's where I did something different. Loveliest meal I've ever tasted. I don't know how you do it, you cunning pixie. Is that a compliment? Also, if you notice on the George, well, I'm gonna keep the George thing a secret, because I'm gonna try to frame him next. I have an idea. I should be able to fit it in this video. Okay, you're too kind, miss. Of course, I will have tea and cakes for you in the drawing room as usual after dinner. So good to me, so you sweet thing. So very, very good to me. Which ending do you go for where you're just a sleazebag? Maybe the piss your dad off one? There seems to be a lot of ways to frame your dad, but I don't know which one's the right one. Alright, well, you two stop flirting with each other. I'm sorry, Mr. Aaron. I never... Shush, rat. Go crawl in a hole somewhere. It's quite enough of your silly jokes, Aaron. Mom just scoots right on past it, like, no, of course your sister's not a lesbian. What are you talking about? Okay, I'm gonna probably say this every time we get to this point. If you plan a murder, first of all, don't plan a murder. Second of all, don't be dropping lines like that where it makes it really obvious that you're probably going to be involved in death of someone. Okay. So what I did last time was popped on down the stairs. Hi, George. Bye, George. Go. I'm aware that I could just use the arrow keys, but I like clicking for some reason. Alrighty. Items. Home. Gotta double click it. Come hither, thou sweet and flame-haired maiden. Let us play the games which have been forbidden in dusty old rooms of this home in which I live in. Come hither to me and do my sweet bidding. That doesn't rhyme. Yes, forbidden isn't a word. Thank you. Just call her out. And I will continue reading the poem. You're pretty sure that forbidden isn't a word and that the rest doesn't rhyme. Yes. Put under your pillow, which is totally the best place to put that. Way to go, us. 10 out of 10. Go up the stairs. Alright. Let's do it. She's one of her strange moves. She hasn't noticed us. Oh, I bet that's how we do the poison one. Okay, here's why I was worried about going into the room with George again. Because when you go in there, he says, "Did you hear that?" Yeah, we're gonna go in with the mom. If you go in the room with George, you'll still be fine, though. Your sister cries out in surprise as you grab her from behind. You quickly muffle those cries with one hand before pressing the shard of broken glass against her throat. She struggles valiantly as you cut her throat open, but you manage to hold her in place until finally she goes limp. You drop her lifeless body to the ground along with the broken glass. It's time to leave this room before your deed is discovered. Go, go, go. Run, boy, run. You get in this room. Mother's listening to her music, you know better than to disturb her. So we can just chill in this room because Mom doesn't notice stuff, apparently. I reveal in there with George, who's immediately like, "Did you hear that?" I think it makes you look a little suspicious. So we're gonna go suspicious list. Dog. I will never frame you, dog. Winston Lewis is on the case. He looks like George's slightly more attractive brother. I understand this is a difficult time for you. Well, of course it is. Somebody just got murdered. Look at those little blotches on the ground. No evidence of forced entry. No at the house. The killer is probably in this room. What? No! You're so full of crap. It says, in order to follow protocol, I would need to interview each of you in turn. Alright, we're all gonna talk to him. So, while I click quickly through this guy rambling, I try to play, I think it's called Suit F, S-U-T-E, and then capital F. But every time I try to record it, it like froze up and made the screeching sound. I'm gonna try to record it again, but it's not working for me. So sorry, guys. That was suggested by someone, and I really wanted to play it. But maybe I'll just play it myself. Anyways, thank you for joining me in here, Mr. Bruce. I'm sure this won't take long. Gotta search us. It's not necessary. He just wants to touch the butt. I don't want to touch the butt, too. I just put stuff in my cold sore and it tastes... I got my mouth. No! Okay. I keep putting stuff on it because it hurts. Anyways, it's out of the way. Let's move on to the interview. As you know, he's already spoken to everyone else that was present in the house at the time of our sister's death. And they completed... They're fast at work unless this is a lot later. Okay. We arrived at 7 o'clock. Talked to Mom. Trying to avoid an argument. We were worried my sister might attempt suicide. Father's always had a temper. Does he have a violent temper? Absolutely. No, you discuss the prospect of your moving back to Dunshield. Confused because we already made our life elsewhere. He fails to accept the fact that we have made our own life and we can't just move back in. It's completely understandable. I did not talk to my sister. Last time I did talk to my sister, we just... Like, we talked to her about her mirrors, and she's got, like, 73 mirrors, and it's wackadoo. And then she got mad at us because we asked her if she could look in all of them at once. I'll do that option eventually. Let's move on to the events that took place during dinner. I understand there was an argument involving the butler. My family is bad to the servants. Getting you to do so, Mr. Bruce. At one point, you made the accusation that the maid and your sister were in some sort of inappropriate relationship. It seemed obvious enough to me the way those two were carrying on. My parents were just oblivious to it. You believe your sister was in a lesbian relationship with the maid? Almost certainly. Interesting. Gotta ascertain my location at the time of her death. We were on the ground floor. Mom's in the parlor, right? Yeah. Said earlier, we've completed our initial search of the property. Found a poem written by our sister which appears to clearly express romantic feelings towards the maid. Given they found it in the maid's room, we can be sure that she had read it. Perhaps this is proof the two of them... Clearly this is far enough back that we don't have, like, fingerprints and stuff. That'd make her a suspect. Certainly have more questions of her, at least. Curious with the murder weapon. Broken glass seems to have come from one of your sister's mirrors. Found the rest of it in the maid's room. However, we can't rule out suicide, especially when your sister's mental condition and her obsession with mirrors. It's all very interesting. I'm gonna be completely honest with you now, Mr. Bruce. Some of your behavior this evening has been peculiar. I can find no cause for any significant suspicion. While there's some suspicion regarding your father, I don't currently regard him as a serious suspect. I feel quite certain the maid isn't telling me something. Possibility of suicide must be considered, although I am personally unconvinced. As for what happens next, I can go. We're not allowed to leave town. Might have more questions. Gonna arrest the maid. It's possible that the inquest might return a verdict of suicide. We'll see. Sorry about that. Yeah! Although the inspector harbored his own suspicions about you, Sophia the maid was treated as the prime suspect in the case. Evidence you had planted against her led to a trial and a swift conviction. Case caused quite a scandal in the national media, and Sophia gained a lot of unwanted celebrity in the process. She became known in the public imagination as the Killer Chambermaid. With no other heirs remaining, Dad made us the heir. Or, your father reversed his plans, blah blah blah. We've read this before. They died, we inherited everything. We probably killed them too. Dunshell was yours, along with the fortune that came with it. However, George the butler found himself unable to continue serving in the place after what had happened. As you spent many long, sleepless nights wandering through the rooms of the house, you found that its emptiness was reflected within yourself. You become hollow inside, free of everything but the nightmares that continued to haunt you. Best Scream 20 whatever the year this came out of. Okay, so we have figured out how to kill the maid. Or, not to kill the maid, to frame the maid. That one. No maid murder. I kinda want to do the rat poison one and see if we can frame the maid for that too. But I want to get you guys, like, new people being framed. So what I'm probably gonna do is... I try to do at least 2 videos in a recording session. I'm going to try to blame it on George. I have a general idea. As for Mom and Dad, I'm pretty lost. Like, Dad, I think we just have to push too far in the right way. But as far as Mom goes, I got nothing. Anyways, I'm cheap. The game's the deed. There's a lot of ways to kill people, so if you like getting away with murder, this is your game. See you guys next time.